they wanted me to go to a private university, which
Yeah.
is Babcock. And Babcock did not have pharmacy at that time. I don't know if they have now, but they didn't have then. They didn't have medicine either. So the next option was nursing. I was like, no, I don't want to do nursing. No, like I used to see all those nurses in the hospital, how they are rude and shouting. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be that person. And they said that's the only option. My lesson teacher then too was part of who encouraged me, like, go and do nursing, you will like it. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. I went to school and I was actually doing very well. I started with a first class, and down the line, I dropped to a second class upper, and I was like, okay, I think I like it. And yeah, that was it.
That's good. I'm happy you stick to your dream, and I pray everything comes out well for you. So
Amen.
let's go straight to my first question. You said you are a new mom, so I don't know if my guest is there. I think she just paused the video and she's going to be back.
I'm
Okay.
here.
Yeah, okay, all right. So what was your biggest surprise for you? What was the biggest surprise for you when you first became a mother, and how did you embrace this new chapter in your life?
Okay. So first, my journey to becoming a mother was actually a big surprise because I wasn't expecting to get pregnant. It was like the first year of our marriage, and me and my husband already decided that no babies for now, like no babies. And
Yeah.
it just happened. Like it came to me as a shock because I was actually on family planning then, but it still happened. So I was like, well, maybe it's God's time. And yeah, that was like a very rude shock to me. And then becoming a mother,
Yeah.
um, so I had the baby like in February, and I literally picked my mom, me and my husband, we picked my mom from the airport. And then I told him that I don't think I've felt the baby move today. So he said, let's go to the hospital after we dropped mommy at home. We dropped her at home, went to the hospital, and then we got there and they said, oh, your blood pressure is rising. I said, blood pressure that did not rise all through pregnancy. So they said, we have to keep you. They started monitoring, and then in the evening they said, we have to induce you, that they don't want to put me and the baby at risk.
Wow.
So the lady came and she did the vaginal examination, and she was like, you're actually in labor. Are you not feeling anything? I was like, I'm not feeling anything. So they had to rush me to labor ward, and then they started monitoring me. They actually broke my waters.
Wow.
They broke my waters, and that's when I started feeling it, like, okay, it's happening. So 12 hours after, the baby came out, and yeah, I took the baby off them, and I was just staring at him like, so what do I do with you? What's next? Like, that was a shock. So
Yeah.
what is next now? How do I start? I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what I'm doing. So we came home, and then gradually we started getting used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that was like the shock for me. When the baby arrived, it was a shock.
So how were you able to navigate this shock that you just
So I would say support system was actually what helped me scale through this phase. I had the support of my husband, I had the support of my mom, and I myself, I was actually strong because the second day after we got home, they discharged me a day after I had the baby, and the second day, my husband was like, he wants to go and shop, and he said, I'm going with you. So I was that strong. I went out still walking like a dog, and people could tell that this one just had the baby, but I just had to be strong. So I made the decision to be strong, and I had a strong support system, and that was what helped me go through.
yeah.
Go through this phase here.
Wow. That's a very touching story, because definitely there's no pregnancy, there's no delivery. Mothers has their own different stories. You know, when you, if for example, if you bring like 5, 10 mothers together and ask them to share their stories, you'll be surprised. It's never the same. Like
Yeah,
it's never the same. And the most important thing is how we navigate life from there. You understand, like how we move forward. It's all about determination. Okay, this I was not prepared for you. I'm happy you are here. You're a blessing. So what's the way forward? You accepting the reality is the first thing. Now you accepted the fact that fear. What's the next thing to do? How are you going to navigate life and everything together? And I'm grateful, I'm thankful that at least you are doing that. You are doing very well. So well done to you, Mama. Kudos.
Thank you. Thank you.
So my second question is we're going to be talking about managing this emotional roller coaster, as a new mom. Our emotion is just everywhere. Like it's everywhere. So how did you manage the emotional highs and lows of early motherhood, and what advice would you give new moms going through similar feelings?
Okay. So I would say I was actually very emotional. That even me, I was scared that wait, am I going crazy or something? Like, so what I did was I sat my husband down and I spoke to him. I told him how I was feeling, what was going on in my head, and all sort of things I was going through. And thankfully, he is a very understanding man. He understood me. He spoke to me. He asked me, "Do you want us to seek help? Do you want us to go to the hospital?" Or I said, "No. I think I'll be fine eventually. Maybe I just need some time to get into that stage and get through the phase and all those things." So my point here is taking out time for yourself. So sometimes I'll leave him with the baby and my mom, and I'll just pick the car keys and go out. I can go to the city center and go and do window shopping or go and stroll around, do whatever. Just anywhere far from home. I can go to the park and go and clear my head and all those things. So it's just about taking out time for yourself, not just dealing with the baby every day all by yourself or with whatever support. So I would advise new moms to actually take out time for themselves. Like, don't just stay indoor all day and say, "Oh, this baby will not allow me do this. This baby will not allow me do that." Pick out a day in the week, go out, clear your head, do the things you used to do before, things that made you happy before. Keep doing them, and you just see that it gets better from there. It gets better, definitely. So I'll say that's like the main thing that helps me. And of course, talking to your partners, because our partners most times our partners cannot read us. They can't know what is going on in our minds, in our head, except we tell them.
Yeah.
So if you've studied your partner and you feel like this is a very understanding person that you can talk to and they will understand you, then that's fine. Have that conversation with them. And if you feel like you need help, sometimes I feel like our partners, they know you need help, but they are probably just being lazy, or they just want you to ask, or even they themselves are tired.
Yeah. True.
So you can just speak to them like, "Can you help with this thing? Can you help with that thing?" That way is getting the message that you need help, and it would automatically jump into help. So taking out time for yourself, asking for help when you need it. You have visitors coming to the house. If they ask you, "Oh, what can I do for you?" Tell them what you want them to do for you. Don't say, "Oh, I'm fine," that kind of thing. They've come to visit you and they asked. So tell them. There was a day one of my friend came and she was like, "Oh, how can I help? I just gave her the baby." Gave 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 her the baby's food and everything, and I went to sleep. I slept for good 4 hours that day.
Wow.
And she was just here looking after the baby because my husband wasn't around then and my mom had gone back to Nigeria. So she looked after the baby all day basically. And yeah, so I feel like asking for help and taking out time for yourself will help new moms a lot. And
Yeah.
also you can I know it's not easy planning a routine and sticking to it, but if it's something that works for you, you can draw out your plans, do your routine. When baby allows you have your routine as normal, fine. When baby doesn't, that's fine too. But have like a routine you follow every day and try to stick to it. It really helps.
Yeah. True. 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 So, postpartum body acceptance. It's one topic that most men don't really want to talk about. Do you
Yeah.
understand this? Of talking about all these new changes that develop or we experience immediately after we give birth. In fact, some people experience it right from the first month. In fact, some right from the first week of pregnancy. So now let's talk about yours. How was your perception of your body? Like, how has it changed after childbirth? Did you experience any postpartum body acceptance? Like, did you experience anything in your body that definitely changes? Is it weight gain? Is it hair loss? I'm a very hairy person. My second daughter, I experienced postpartum hair loss, and I decided to just cut off my hair. So, did you experience anything? I'm just using mine as an example. So, did you experience this, and what step have you taken towards accepting and loving your postpartum body?
So, in my own case, I didn't have so much changes, but I sure did have. There's no way nothing will change. Something will always change. In the first few months, I had postpartum hair loss. I didn't cut the hair.
Okay.
I just stuck to my normal routine. I stopped using attachments or anything, and I wear wigs to cover
Okay.
it up then. So I let the hair grow back, and thankfully, I have like good genes when it comes to hair. So
Yeah.
it grew back very quickly that you can barely tell that I had postpartum hair loss 3 months ago. So for me, when that happened, in fact, it was my husband that took off my braids and it was like, babe, your hair is breaking and it's cutting. I said, yeah, it's postpartum hair loss.
Yeah.
I just accepted the fact that something has changed in my life. I have a child now.
Mm.
As a mother, it is expected that a lot of things will change.
Yeah.
And I just accepted it and I didn't care what anyone had to say. I'm like that kind of person. I really didn't care what anyone had to say. I don't know. I was maybe because of the way I was raised. My mom was very strict, and she kind of like raised me like a man because I'm the only daughter amongst all the boys.
Wow.
So she raised me like a man. That I tend to behave like a man sometimes. I don't care what anybody has to say about my body or whatever. I accept myself for who I am and I accept my body just the way it is. And even my husband knows me for that. So, and thankfully, he's not that kind of person that body shames or whatever. So, he was totally fine. I think the arc is just being strong and accepting yourself and accepting that something changed in your life and it was something good, not something bad. It was a positive thing. You had a child, you brought a human into this world. You literally grew a human in your body and brought the human into the world. So that is like the most outstanding thing ever. And that alone gives me enough like grace and purpose to carry on with life. And I'm like, yes, my body might have changed, but I have an evidence of why it did. And the evidence is blooming. So being a mother is like a roller coaster, but it is highly rewarding. That is what I know. It is highly rewarding. So I would just say, new moms, just don't think about it. Don't even think about it. Your body will change. Certain things will happen. You'll feel like, oh, this is not who I used to be, and all those things. But what you can do to help yourself is accepting yourself. Accepting, I think self-esteem is like what really matters here. If you have a high self-esteem,
Yeah.
then nothing will shake you.
Yeah.
Nothing will shake you. So I think it's all about having a high self-esteem and accepting yourself just the way you are. If you can change it, it's fine. Because I tried going to the gym. I went for like a couple of days, but I was lazy. I didn't stick to it. I still do my home exercises. Like I go on YouTube and I watch this woman Tara or Kimi. I
Okay.
do home exercises and all.
Mm.
It's
Wow.
not like it's compulsory for me to do that. I'm absolutely fine with just the way I am. So yeah, I think that's it really.
Yeah, true. You've actually everything you said is honestly on point. You made a very good point. Accepting that this is who you are now. Do you understand? Like that's the most important thing. It's not actually easy for you to carry a child in your tummy for 9 good months. Definitely there's going to be changes. So and when you have a supportive partner that understands this, that does not body shame you, they understand that this is a sacrifice that you went through for not just him but the family as a whole, then I don't know what else can what else should move a mother aside from that. It's just the most important thing is having a good community around you.
Yeah.
Community that knows that no, that would not body shame you, that will let you feel love, that will let you feel no matter what you're going through, you went through a lot to bring a child into the world. So that's the most important thing. Having a community that supports the very around the new mom. That's the most important thing. So let's talk about a very funny topic: sleep deprivation. It's actually very common with new moms. There's I doubt how you can escape it. Like no. If a child, especially a newborn, is sleeping all through, like all through. I think something is definitely wrong. So, sleep deprivation is one of the biggest challenges for new moms. So, what strategies was there any strategies that you put in place, or was there any training, special training or special expertise that you brought to help you navigate this phase of motherhood?
Well, for sleep deprivation, me, I didn't use any method or whatever. I just accepted it. That is part of the process. I
Okay.
accepted it. When my mom was here, I'll let her sleep through the night while either me or my husband stays awake with the baby. If my husband is going to work, he will sleep while I stay awake with the baby. On days he's not working, I will sleep while he's awake with the baby whenever the baby needs to feed. And thankfully for me, I was mixed feeding, so it wasn't like I needed to put him to breast.
Okay.
And whenever he needed to have breast milk, I would have pumped it already and put it in the fridge for him to feed the baby. So we're like rotating it together, not like one person is sleeping. Because I used to see people post things like the man is sleeping through the night and you are up the baby all the time. Like I feel like that is not fair. Yes, he's going to work, but on days that he knows that he's not going to work, you should be able to help the woman out. Because when she doesn't sleep, then she will eventually get tired and she will eventually get sick, and you are still back to carrying all the responsibility and still going to work in the process. So if you can work it out, why not work it out? So when my mom sleeps through the night, when she wakes up, I go and give the baby to her.
Okay.
She knows where the baby's food is and everything, and I sleep. So that was how we
Navigate
pass
the
through that early stages of sleep deprivation. And now that I'm alone with the baby, whenever he's sleeping, I sleep as well. No matter what I have to do,
you leave it
I,
alone.
I leave it alone and I sleep. When he's awake, we continue. So that's how we've been working it out. Correct.
So yeah, part of the mothers are believing sleep when the baby is sleeping.
Yeah. So I'll say because sometimes we try to do everything. Like don't try to do everything. Someone like me now, I don't know if I'm a perfectionist or whatever. I like the house clean. I like my kitchen clean. I like food prepped. I like everything done, and you just wake up and the house is sparkling clean. Until I became a mother, I realized that no, it's not possible.
You know, right?
Not possible. So on days I have all the energy and I want to do everything, I'll do it. On days I don't, then I'm not doing it. I don't have the energy.
Um,
I don't have the energy, then I'm not doing it. Days I can cook, I'll cook. Days I can't cook, that's it. My husband knows that one already. So he does the chores as well. He does the dishes, he cooks whenever he can. So I just feel like I'll just encourage new moms to, like I said earlier, ask for help. And in terms of this sleep, one thing I can recommend is rotate with your partner. Don't try to stay up all night, all week with the baby. You get sick. You get very, very sick. So rotate with your partners. And some people do this like you sleep first and I will take care of the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you wake
yeah,
up,
yeah.
continue, and then I will sleep. So that one works too. So it's totally up to you. Once you figure out what works for both of you, then you guys will be fine. That's what I think.
Yeah, true, true. So we have a question for from one of our viewers. He said, "Did being a health professional give the guest an idea of motherhood, or was it a whole new game for her?"
Um, I wouldn't say it gave me so much idea. I feel like it was a whole new game to be honest. It was because at that point, if it's someone else's child, you probably be able to contribute. I find out that it happens a lot. Even my husband does it because he is a doctor, and when I'm sick, sometimes he doesn't like to make diagnosis or try to offer treatment options. He will want me to see a doctor because when you are dealing with family members, you tend to have like biased opinion and you are looking through the emotions and not hitting the right spot. So it was a totally new, all new game for me. It wasn't no prior knowledge helped. Though sometimes, like as I'm getting more into the phase, my prior knowledge is now coming into play. Like the way I open this food page, I'm able to recommend. I know what the baby should eat. I know how the baby's food should be at different stages. Like, oh, so that prior knowledge is working now. But at the initial stage, it wasn't working. It wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, true, true. So I have one question that I know it's a very sensitive question. I was having my own I was thinking, I not that I was thinking, I was contemplating, let me use the word contemplating, if I should ask or not, because it's actually a very sensitive topic, but it's also very important. You know, it's sensitive, but it's also very important topic that needs to be talked about.
Okay.
What's your take on postpartum depression? And the thing is, some women insist they do not experience it, or not that they do not experience, they don't know what it means.
Mm.
You know, you can be going through something and you would not understand that this is, you just know that you are confused, you are stressed, you are not in a happy place, you are not how you envision the whole journey is going to be. And most of their partners or most people do not really believe in postpartum depression. They don't, because their take is like, are you going to be the first mom that it's a very common.
Especially
Yeah,
Africans.
especially with Africans. So what's your take? Did you experience it with baby, and how were you able to navigate through this phase? And what's your advice? Yes, what's your advice for not just new moms now, and also their partners and community at large? Now it's a 3-1 question. What's your take? Did you experience postpartum depression? How were you able to navigate it if you did? And what's your advice, not just for new moms now, not just for new moms, but also their partners and community, especially Africans who do not really believe in postpartum depression?
Okay. So, my take on postpartum depression is actually real. Like, I've seen people experience it and they will totally deny that they are not experiencing it. But me being a health professional, I know that that is what you're experiencing, but you just don't want to accept it. And did I experience it? No, I didn't experience it. Thankfully, I didn't experience it. So, I would say when you start noticing things like you are losing interest in things that used to interest you before, like things that you used to like doing. For example, you like seeing movie, you like going out and all those things, regardless of whatever situation you find yourself. But here you are losing interest. You don't want to do your self-care. You don't want to have your bath. I know people say, oh, being a mom is you wearing clothes for 3 days, not having a shower. I feel like it is beyond that. It is actually postpartum depression, and people don't know that's what it is. You are losing interest. You don't want to care for yourself. You don't want to eat. You are losing appetite. You are getting anxious. You are having some certain intrusive, people have intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
But when you start getting thoughts like you feel like arming your baby and all those things, then you should start looking at one of those postpartum issues, whether it's postpartum psychosis or postpartum depression and all those things. So I feel like people see these signs and they do not know that is what they are experiencing because they are not well educated about it. So my advice to every new mom is, once you start seeing such symptoms, don't just assume it's part of motherhood or it's part of postpartum. Speak to someone and let them know that this is how you are feeling, and they will be able to navigate and tell you like why not seek some help or something. Or you can even speak to your GP. If you don't want to go that far, you can look for a health professional who is like your friend or that you can confide in and speak to them. Let them know what you are experiencing, and if there's a way they can help you personally, they will. If they want you to seek further help, they will. But don't just stay in the house and then ignore all the symptoms and think that it is all part of postpartum, because it will get to a stage that you can't manage it again on your own, and then it will start having effect on you. It will start having effect on the baby, and a lot of even effect on your marriage, because that's another thing people don't know. Like being once you get into that phase of motherhood, it takes a lot of effect on yourself, on your marriage, on everything. And God forbid you don't have an understanding husband or whatever, or understanding friends or family members around you. They just make your whole life worse and you just want to lose it all. So seeking help is very important. That is like the main thing new moms should always do. Please seek help. Once you start noticing symptoms like you are not feeling yourself again, like you don't want to do anything, you just want to stay in bed, you don't even want to care for the baby that you just had self, you don't want to care for the baby, you are not interested in anything at all, just try to seek help. Speak to whoever you think you can confide in. It might not necessarily be your husband, but whoever you confide in, speak to them and see how they can help you. And also you can engage yourself with activities. Yeah, you can take a walk to the park. You can sit down, see a movie. You can call a friend and gist with them and see if that helps you, if that relieves your symptoms. And if it doesn't, then just seek professional help or advice.
Yeah, true. So now you've not you've answered the first two questions. Now, how what's your advice for communities now? External, is it the partner? I'm talking about, we have partners, family members, or friends. Even some friends don't really believe in. They are there to support you, but they are not there as a friend. So what's now your advice for the family now? That's the third party now.
So my advice for third parties is, when you see a new mom or even a mom at all, please try and be supportive. Like in any way you can, just be supportive.
Yeah.
I see some women, they act like they have not even been in that stage before. They criticize you, they judge you, and all those things. And honestly, new moms don't need that at all. All they need is people that love and support them. So if you're an external family or whatever, try and be supportive to mothers. They need all the support they can get. They need all the love they can get. Try and be supportive. That I think that's like what summarizes what the community can help with. If there's any way you feel like you can help, it might not necessarily be financially, it might just be physically present for the person, it might be emotionally present, it might be you just having a cup of tea with them and engaging them in discussions that will relieve them. Like, however you can be supportive, just try to be when you meet a new mom or any mom at all.
Yeah, so any mom at all, because definitely postpartum depression is not limited to just new moms. I've heard stories about mothers who are months, their babies are even a year or a year plus, and they are still experiencing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because definitely it's a long journey, it's a long phase. So it's actually a lot, and the most important thing is when people understand that there's definitely something called postpartum depression. Because a
Yeah.
lot of people go through, a lot of people, like you see, this postpartum depression it's actually a very broad topic, and thank God you're in the health industry, so you definitely have more
Yeah.
experience, more
Definitely.
understanding of it than me. Definitely, you've seen a series of women who get knocked out completely by being knocked out, like close to, I don't want to use the bad word, like they do not even understand what is going on around them. That is when it gets to this stage of, that's the worst thing. So it's actually a lot when people understand that there's definitely called postpartum depression, and you should just be kind. That's the thing. Be kind with your words. Be kind to new moms out there. Be nice. Don't come with a lot of unsolicited advice. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, because yes, imagine a new mom that just gave birth and is trying to navigate motherhood, and different people are coming and they are telling her different things, do this, do that, forgetting that what worked for your child might definitely not work for this baby.
Yeah.
Babies are not the same, they are different. So when you come with all this unsolicited advice, you are not even helping your moms. Or maybe a mom is getting to a stage of a baby is not lactating, she's not lactating very well, and you're like, "Ah, you failed as a mother, you are not lactating, you're not breastfeeding your child, you are not this." You are putting a lot of tension on the mother, on the new mom. Then she starts seeing herself as, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing enough for my, oh, I'm coming. Then you start seeing yourself that I'm not doing enough for my child. I'm not doing enough. Am I a good mom? This with what I'm doing. So I just think we should be nice. We should be nice. You have to, before you can even be nice to someone, you have to be nice to yourself.
So yeah.
Yeah, when you are not nice to yourself, when you don't know what it feels like to be nice, when you've not experienced niceness, it's difficult. Like it's difficult to give what you don't have. So sometimes you just in this kind of case, we just sometimes, if you know your advice is not going to help a new mom, if you know your advice is going to put more tension into a new mom, it's just better for you to just keep it. I keep it to yourself. I hope we
Yeah,
mothers.
I also have one more thing to say. I just remembered now.
Okay.
Also, people that stay with new moms, like whether it's sister-in-law or
Mm,
mother-in-law or whatever, I feel like you've come for a purpose. You said you've come to help the woman, right?
mm,
So don't come and become a problem to her rather than coming to help her. I remembered one situation where one of my friends was telling me, was it last year? She had a baby. She had twins actually. And then the mother-in-law came to help, obviously, from Nigeria. And this woman will just come. She will wake up in the morning. She does nothing other than bathe the babies. They will even come and call her in the room to come and eat. Once she eats, she'll go back to the room and go and sleep or go and watch TV. Like she doesn't help them with anything at all. That there are certain instances that my friend cannot cook, and then she would have to order food because the husband is a doctor and he has gone to work and he can't, obviously can't come back and start cooking. She has a toddler and she's just had twins.
Oh,
And then you've come to help her. You claimed you came to help, but you actually came to frustrate her life.
yeah.
She ordered the food and the food arrived, and this woman said to the girl, like, so this is what you are feeding my son. Like, you can imagine, she ordered pizza. So the woman said, so this is what you've been feeding my son. Like, you've come to help, you can't help. And then, however, the girl, she's still trying to provide food because her husband will come back from work and there's nothing to eat because you have refused to help her. She's dealing with a toddler
That's
and
twins.
twins, and you are still complaining that is this what she feeds your son. I feel like the girl was down, like she couldn't wait for the woman's time to be over, and she promised herself this is the last time she will ever tell the woman to come and help if she ever has another baby. Like, she's not having this again. So someone like that, she can easily go into postpartum depression because she's frustrated. She's dealing with three children, and then she's dealing with a mother-in-law that has come to frustrate her life, and the husband is always working to make ends meet. Like, she is frustrated. And you can imagine, if the woman is complaining about food, she will probably complain if the house is dirty, but she cannot help. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So those kind of people, I feel like they shouldn't even be near new mothers at all. Don't even come near new mothers or mothers. And the annoying part is, you yourself, you've been a mother.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you were treated when you were a mom. You don't have to treat someone else the same way. Do you understand? Because I feel like some of them do that. Like, they want you to go through what they have gone through. That kind of thing. So, okay.
It's definitely this is his own opinion also. Thank you for your own opinion. Let me find a clap for. He's giving his own opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Definitely giving his own opinion. Definitely, your opinions are well noted.
Sorry, Jerry. If I was not home alone, I would have dropped him with his father.
I know, I understand. His opinions are well noted and will be put into consideration. It's true, actually, and I feel new moms, new moms should. You see, that's a very sensitive topic, and it depends on the new parent now. Do you understand? It depends on the new parent how they are able to navigate that kind of situation. If the husband sees that the wife is going through this and he's not putting his foot on the ground,
Exactly my
to
point. That was what I told her. Like, why is he not saying anything?
yeah, he's not putting his foot on the ground and no, you are here to help. It's either you help or you just please jejely don't add more stress. So a woman that just gave birth to twins, and I don't. That's why most women prefers to. You see, in that dedicated that new phase, it's. I keep advising people just go with whoever you are comfortable with, because that's a stage where you need all the help. Because in that stage is a the dedicated stage where, of course, you can experience postpartum depression. And imagine you're experiencing postpartum depression. You need people that will understand you, people that will be able to support you. Do you understand? Maybe you are stressed and you are going through a lot. You need people who you are very you see, being having a new baby changes a lot of things in women. Sometimes when women become so cranky, so they get so fed up, they don't even know what to do. They don't know how to navigate this new phase. So imagine when they are with someone who is not understanding,
Yeah.
someone who is not going to help with their emotions, someone who's going to compound their whatever they are going. That's the issue they are going through. I don't think it's fair on new mom. So it's the that's why I said is it's the new parents that are in that situation. If your wife is going through a difficult period and you as a man you are not standing up to support her, I don't know.
He's probably feeling like he doesn't want to offend his mother, but you can see that she is the one offending your wife.
Your wife, yeah. So what if God forbid something evil, something bad now happens to her? So who's going to be affected more? So when something like that happens, it depends on the partner, honestly. Depends on That's why you have to get married to a very a kind person.
Yeah.
That's very important. Getting married to a kind person is a necessity. It's a necessity. It's something that every woman should experience. Every woman should make sure that in their life, whatever they are doing, they get. It's not even now only a woman, also a father. Also, make sure that your partner is a very is a kind person, because kindness goes a long way in the marriage. Honestly, it goes a long way in the marriage. Yeah, it goes a long way in the marriage. So I pray she's fine. How is she? Hope she's fine.
Yeah, yeah, she's getting better now. The woman has left. Her own mom is around now.
Ah,
So she's more happy and yeah.
wow.
Well,
Wow, wow, wow. Ah, Africans. It's an African thing. It's
it's
actually an African thing, honestly.
an African thing.
It's an African thing. It's an
I,
African.
I told my husband, like, when we're planning for who to come, because it's my first time. Honestly, going through the phase now, I felt like I probably would have even been fine alone. I appreciate my mom's help, but I felt like I probably didn't need too much, to be honest. Maybe because it's my first time, so
Yeah.
yeah. But I would say I told my husband that I wanted my mom to come first, because his mom's passport was going to expire August this year. I said, go and renew the passport for her. Let my mom come first. When it's time after she has renewed her passport, she will come. So that was me just deciding that, because I've never met my mother-in-law. I haven't met her yet. We just talk on the phone and all those things. Myself and my husband got married here in the UK.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't met her yet. So I said I would rather let my mom come first, because I know my mom. I've known my mom since I was born. I'm more
Yeah.
comfortable around her. Not like I think your mom is whatever, or
Mm.
but yeah, and he understood me and said that's fine, whatever you want. So just let whoever you are comfortable with come around you at that early stage,
Yeah.
because it's a very delicate stage. It's a
Yeah.
very, very delicate stage.
Yeah. Yeah. True. True. You have a point. You really have a point. So, so as your mother-in-law, as she when your mom left after the is it Umugo now? Umugo face.
Yeah.
So did you invite your mother-in-law over to come
Yeah,
and
she's actually coming next month. Though she might not stay long, because we have other plans. I told you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So she might not stay too long. In fact, the main reason she's coming next month is because my husband is doing his graduation. He just
Oh,
completed his general practitioner training,
oh, okay.
and they always do graduation after. So he said he wants them to come for his graduation. That's why they invited him now. Otherwise, they'll probably come next year when we move. So
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Wow. Wow, wow. So thank you very much. Let me first start by appreciating you. Thank you very much for your time. You and your in fact, you're not the only guest I have today. There are two.
yeah, now
Have you? So thank you very, very much. Thank
post.
you. Thank you for coming to our it's a series. It's a so am I going to say it's a podcast now? I know God has
Do you
planned.
like
God
record these sessions for YouTube?
Yes, yes, yes. I
Oh,
definitely it's on what's it called? It's on my TikTok. So I'll just download it and post it on my page. So
oh,
thank you very much. Thank you,
you're
thank
most
you. I
welcome.
have someone I will want to I don't know if she's available to join. She's more experienced, and of course, I don't know if she joined the live from the beginning. But I know she's busy, and she can come and give us our own input or our own what's it called? Our own take on motherhood, navigating motherhood, and yeah, everything. She. So thank you. So before we end this live, I want to understand something. Was it baby that brought out this new idea of you opening your page. You have two pages now, yeah.
Yes, actually. So I have like 3 pages on TikTok. Though I don't plan to keep one of them, but I'm
Okay.
just trying to see which one grows faster. So it
Hmm.
was actually baby that inspired me to start all this motherhood content. It was actually baby. Because I was just like, what can I do with my time at home now? And I was just brainstorming and all sorts of ideas come to me. So I said, yeah, oh well.
Yeah. Wow. That's part of the joy of motherhood. New ideas keep coming in. There are some things that you think, I don't think I can do this thing. There are some things that
See yourself doing it.
you're like, it's definitely impossible for me to do, and you'll be surprised when you start doing it. Actually, also my own page too is it came up from me not knowing what to do, like, and this idea of mom who inspire also, it's just part of the face. As you start trying new things, new ideas start popping in, then you start, okay, this is something I can do, this is something I can do, this is something I can do. So yeah, that's about my page
Ideas
too.
keep coming, like motherhood content ideas keep coming, and I can't stop them. So I'm just like, oh well, if that's the
Yeah.
new life now.
Yeah, and also what you can be doing is in this phase you can just, when something else, that's what I've been doing now, because in the past, before, when I started this page, a lot of ideas came to my head and I was like, oh, this is good. But the mistake I made was I didn't put them down. I didn't write them down. So now when new things just popped up in my head, anything can pop up, maybe when you're cooking or you're walking or anything. So what I do immediately is, if I'm not near the pen or where I can just jot it down, I just put it on my phone. In fact, my phone is the easiest.
Yeah.
I have a note where I just put new ideas, anything I need to talk about. In fact, I have a lot of topics that that is on my phone at the moment. Sometimes I'll just think about something. Okay, let me write it down. Obviously, I'm going to talk about it one day. So it's part of the gift of motherhood. It's a blessing, and which we do not take for granted. That's the thing, which we are grateful to God for letting us experience the joy of motherhood. So it's a blessing, and we are grateful to God. So thank you very much, mommy. Thank you. Thank you
You're
very
most welcome.
much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you to our baby guest. Thank you to our baby guest. Thank you for coming. Thank you for honoring our invites.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for honoring our invite. And also to all our uh, viewers. Thank you, everyone. I'm grateful. God bless you. Thank you for power tapping.